record a video on how to do research and how to use PureRef to display your research. It seems like some students have a problem utilizing this extremely simple piece of software. So I want to show you how I approach it. Okay, so we're going to do some research. And what I'm going to do is, let's say scopes for weapons. Let's go with that. Okay, we go to images. Now we want to go up here to our tools, and we want to go, tools, and then go to size, large, and this will only give us nice large images. Okay, and then first thing I do is I scroll through here and I find anything that I find interesting and I open it in a tab. The easiest way to do that is just use your center mouse button, the little scroll bar, just click on it, and that will load it into a tab. So just pick some that I like. Now, when I'm picking them, I'm picking things that I think are interesting, things that would take me a challenge to model. Okay, like here's a piece of art. I don't want art. I want actual photographs. So I'm opening all these on center clicking, open them on tabs. Of course, I know a lot of students, what they want to do is find the most simplest things to build because they just want to what's the least amount of effort I can put into learning something. So that's fine. That's the way you approach things. I approach things from the standpoint of what's the most coolest thing that I can find to do that'll stretch my boundaries and impress somebody else with what I've done. Okay, so I've got some here in tabs. So I've got my PureRef board open here. And so then I just drag and drop these on. And I close that tab. Now, usually when I ask students to do this kind of a project, I tell them to give me a minimum of 10. And that's what students usually do. They do the minimum that they could do. And that's how they're going to be viewed by potential employers, that they're a minimal kind of person. Okay, so let's see. I also kind of liked maybe one like this. These are kind of cool. I like that. Okay, now that's a small one. So what I can do is open that up in a tab. Oh, it's big there. Okay, so that looks good. We'll put that. I've got my PureRef on my second screen, so I'm dragging them off the screen is what I'm doing. That's the same one from a different. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, here's some other cool ones. that. That's pretty cool. Let's see, you can open that new tab. That's not very big, but I could do a reverse search on it maybe a little bit. Ooh, that's kind of a cool one there. Yeah, that's nice and big. Okay, I get obsessive about this stuff, and I like to find the best stuff, and so I just get obsessive and I go, which is probably why I win. So a lot of times students approach things, what's the least amount of effort that I can do to make a grade and get out of this class? I'm not sure who would want to hire that kind of person, but I see that all the time. Okay, I'm going to go with that. All right, so here's all my images. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick them all, and then in PureRef, if I do Control P, that will do an initial pack of all these so that I can see what I've got. All right, then I'm going to go in and start trimming these. Okay, it's really easy to trim something. Just pick it and then C on the keyboard, you drag a box. And so what I want to do is get these so I don't have a lot of excess. I only get the scope. This is something I see a lot of students don't take the time to do, to trim the work, so they have sloppy presentations. By the way, this is a non-destructive crop, which means I can always go back later and tell it to go back to its original size. I only need to see the scopes. Okay, we'll say about like that. That's okay. Doesn't take very long to trim all this. I'm going to keep this one. If I like it, then I'll find a better shot of that. Normal speed keys work. So I can undo something. That's the same one. It's a little bit, it's got a different lens on it. I'll leave them both on here for right now. Now for a student, you would get burned for doing that if you only had 10. But since I always give my clients more than what they ask for, that's usually not an issue with me. Okay, let's pack them again, see what we got. All right, then I initially want all these to be the same width. That's Control Alt right arrow, and that will make them all the same width. And then I'll pack them again. And then I arrange them. Okay, so I'm going to put all of these little small ones together like so. Maybe the height is going to be like that. I'm going to think about that one. Okay, little skinny ones. Let's stack these like so. And then maybe a skinny one here, a skinny one there. Here, a skinny there, skinny everywhere. A skinny, skinny. good. Let's dump that one. Okay, that's all looking pretty good. So then what I'm going to do is pick all of them. It's control left arrow will align them to the left, and a control top arrow will align them to the top. Okay, now control, you have a canvas out here. I don't know if you guys see it. This is where a lot of people screw up. When I export this, it's exporting the canvas, not the arrangement, the canvas. To snap the canvas to your objects, all you have to just pick them, and it's control O for optimize, and it'll snap to that. Okay, so now this looks pretty good, but then I'm going to square this up. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to get a little close down here, and I'm going to pull that to the bottoms line right there. Okay, I'm going to kind of slide these out of the way for right now. I'm going to come in and pick these, and now I'm going to pull that down to those line up. That's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now I'll do my pick it all, control left arrow, control up arrow. Okay, now I'm going to take these. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and pick all of them again and do control O. And the reason I do that is it gives me a line down here for alignments, which helps out when I'm aligning things. Okay, so I'm going to pick these, and then I'm going to adjust that. Okay, one more time, control left arrow, control up arrow, control O. Okay, now this is a nice presentation. They're all approximately the same size. They won't ever be exactly the same size, but what we're trying to eliminate is some huge things and then small things. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is just to double check and go in here. They should all be high quality. All you got to do is double click on it. Spacebar to go back. These are all pretty good images. This gets me in the ballpark. And then, of course, the next stage. Looks like this one and that one are, well, they're not exactly the same. They're pretty close, though. That was not a very good image. I might dump that one. Okay, so then this is what my presentation is. Okay, so now to export this, all you have to do is right-click, save, export, scene. Okay, then we'll have to give it a name. So we'll just call this Udi Scopes. All right, then this window is going to come up. All right, this is where I determine the size that I want to export the image. This is where a lot of people screw up. They don't take the time to actually come in here. Now, all right, these are locked proportionally. I want to take the biggest one, and then around 1200 pixels is good. Then I also want to put the borders on these. It'll put a little border around them. So I want border. I don't want a background. Just going to leave my background transparent. It'll put a border on each one of these. That way these whites aren't just floating out. There'll be a border on them. I want my longest side to be 1200. And then I can export that. Okay, so let's see. That's where I would have put those in. Probably put it in my trash. And there it is. Double click on it. And there is my presentation. Really nice, tight presentation. I've taken the time to kind of accumulate things together that are similar. So when you're doing your research, there could be different kinds of concepts in here. So you want to take the time to kind of arrange them. You know, it's not automated process. It's not always going to be an automated process. You got to be an artist, use your artistic skills to put these together. Notice how they're perfectly aligned. I see people manually aligning stuff. I don't know why you do that. The software's got great alignment tools. So hopefully that'll help you out, guys, doing this project and making a better presentation than the ones that I'm seeing so far. All right. Thank you very much.